Welcome to the first section of the Tidal Textures crochet along. This first section is pretty simple to get started. We have a background of single crochet stitches, which is one of the basic stitches, which is alternated with some double crochets and back post double crochets, which are two different types of stitches that we'll work through together in a minute. But those form these little bump textures, which are our raindrops for this section. So for me, it looks like raindrops on the sea, which is the inspiration behind the section. It's made out of a 4-row repeat and over 6 stitches, and you'll see that the raindrops are just offset. So for this raindrop section, you're going to work with your bigger crochet hook because single crochet tends to be tight. Which is what we'll use most in this section. So we're going to use a bigger hook so that our total width stays the same. So we're going to use the 6.5 mm or USK hook for this section, and then your first color of yarn. To keep the video simple, I am going to work on a smaller sample or swatch. So I'm going to make a small section, but you're going to work through the entire blanket width. So you're going to need 150 stitches for your entire blanket, and I will work with a smaller multiple of the stitch for this section just to show you. So you're going to start by making a slip knot. Now there's different ways to do it. I like to wrap the yarn around my right hand, insert my hook. So you're going to start with a slip knot. I like to wrap my yarn around my hand, insert my hook, pull up my first loop, and tighten it up so that I have my slip knot. Any way you like to do it works fine. And then you're going to start with chaining. You need to chain 150 stitches for the entire blanket width. Because our raindrops are a multiple of 6 stitches, I am going to stick to a smaller multiple, and I'm going to do 12 stitches. But you have to do the full 150 to get the full blanket. So to chain, we're going to wrap your yarn around your hook, hold with your thumb and in middle finger the end of your yarn, and pull that loop through your slip knot, and you've made a first chain. So you're going to repeat that process until you made 150 of those chains. Alright, so now that you have your 150 chain, I have 12 here for my little sample. You're going to do one more because you need that one stitch for your turning chain. So in crochet, you're always going to start your row with 1, 2, or 3 chains to get to the height of the stitch you're going to work that row in. Now for this section, we're working with a background of single crochet, which is one of the shortest stitches, so you're going to need only a chain 1 for that turning chain. So that's what that +1 is. So now you're going to start your stitches in your first row. We're going to start with 6 single crochet. So you're going to start by making your first single crochet in your second stitch from your hook. So that's the first one, that was your turning chain. This is the second one, that's the one you need to work in. I'm going to insert my hook through the both loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull to 2 loops, and you've done a single crochet. So let's do that again in the next stitch. I'm gonna insert my hook through the 2 loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull to 2 loops, and I've done a single crochet again. So I made 2. So you need to make a total of 6. And then we are going to start making our first raindrop. Our raindrop is made out of 2 rows. On the first row, we're going to make a double crochet. And then on the second row, we're going to make a back post double crochet. So let's start with the double crochet. Going to yarn over before you insert your hook for your double crochet. Then you're going to insert your hook in your stitch. Yarn over again and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull to 2 loops. Yarn over and pull to the 2 last loops, and you've made a double crochet. So you can see the double crochet is much higher than the single crochet. Now we're going to single crochet 5 double crochet, single crochet 5, double crochet, and you're going to repeat those 6 stitches until the end of your row. Okay, so when you get to the end of the row, you're going to chain 1 for your turning chain again. So at the end of each row, you need to make a turning chain. And then we're going to start row 2. For row 2, we're going to make a single crochet in every single crochet from our row below. And when we get to the double crochets, that's where we make the back post double crochet that I'll show you. So we're going to start with our trusted single crochet. I'm going to start with making 5 of them until your first double crochet. Okay, so now here I got to the double crochet. This is where we're gonna make that special stitch. So for the back post double crochet, it's like a double crochet, but instead of working inside the top of your stitch, like you normally do, you're gonna work around the post of your stitch, which is the bar, like the bar at the bottom. So to do this, we're gonna do, because we're doing a double crochet, we need to start by yarning over. Gonna insert our hook from the back to the front because it's a back post. So we want the post to get to the back of our work. We're gonna insert our hook again between the next 2 stitches. So you have your post of your stitch here at the back of your hook. Gonna yarn over and you're gonna pull your yarn back so that you get back to your original like loops. Gonna yarn over, pull to 2 loops, yarn over, pull to 2 loops like you would do for a normal double crochet. And here you can see that you've worked that back post double crochet, and on the right side of your project you get that nice raindrop texture. Now we need to make our next stitch, which is gonna be single crochet again until our next double crochet. Now the thing here is when you work your single crochet, you're not going to work it in this loop because this loop is from the stitch you just worked. It's the top loop from that double crochet that you worked around the post instead of around the top loop. So you're going to go straight to the next one. So I'm going to make my single crochet here. So that's important so that you keep the right number of stitches like in total. And then you single crochet until your next double crochet and you finish your row with 6 single crochet. Now in the first few rows, it's totally normal that your project is kind of twisty and turly. This is gonna disappear by itself once you work a few more rows, so you don't need to worry about it or do anything about it. It's gonna go away by itself and it's totally normal. So now we've done 2 rows. We need to chain 1 again and turn our work, and you can see your first full raindrops. So by this point you should have 25 of those bubbles on your project. And the rest is all single crochet with a total of 150 stitches. So if you count those top loops, this is 1 stitch. Let me show you with something else. So this is 1 stitch, 2, 3. So if you count all of them, you should have 150. So now to start our row 3, we are going to work basically the same thing as for row 1 and 2, but we're gonna offset those raindrops so that they come here in between on each side. So we're gonna start with single crochet 3. And then we make a double crochet to start our raindrop. Single crochet 5 for a repeat. Double crochet again, and then you're going to repeat single crochet 5, double crochet, single crochet 5, double crochet until you get to the end of the row where you finish with 2 single crochet. So now you finished row 3. Let's chain 1 for a turning chain and turn our work. Now on this row it's just like row 2. You're going to single crochet in every single crochet stitch from the row below, and when you get to a double crochet, that's where you make that back post double crochet. So we're going to single crochet 2, then we're going to back post double crochet, single crochet 5. Make sure you don't work your first one in the same stitch that you just worked. You need to skip that top loop. Back post double crochet again when you get to that double crochet. And you repeat that all the way across. So now here you should get 26 of those raindrops on this row. And you just repeat those 4 rows all the way for your entire section until you reach a height of 9.5 inches. And we're gonna keep that ½ inches for our divider section. And the width you just work for the whole 150 stitches, which should give you a 50-inch width.